In a world where it's easy to get words, there is lying around every corner where being real is a rare gem that's been lost. Under layers of lies, one must ask they can really be worth shown without saying a word. What other people mean by a word, figure out without using their income empty claims. From the ancient Stoicism is a way of thinking that wise words in a noisy world and lack of depth. Stoics believed in the having more power than words, in the having the guts to stick to what you believe ideals, no matter what the chaos whirling around them. Come with me on a journey of change where you will find out how to feel good about yourself and turn into a strong light in a world being sunk in shallowness. But watch out. This road is not for the weak of heart. Step into the ghosts of self-reflection were real. Value isn't in things that die quickly. Social media likes are proof of something, but into the core of who you are. Accept the Stoic advice that you are already valuable, cannot be changed or affected by the whims of others. As we dig deeper, we face how important it is to present ourselves with the honor of standing tall in our being authentic instead of giving in to what draws you to being too shiny is not what it's about. Displaying flashy things to impress others, but being honest and trustworthy. Self-respect in everything we do, but that's not where the journey ends. We only need to learn how to set the beginning. Limits to keep our sacred space safe from people who want to take advantage of our weaknesses. It is in being able to say no, that we proclaim that we believe in our own worth. We deserve respect for ourselves and honor, and when it's time to walk, a way to leave behind what no longer works for us, we need to call the courage of the sage for truth. It's not strength to hold on to the known, but by accepting the unknown with firm determination. So let us listen to what the Stoics say, sound that led us through the dark fear and worry, because in the shades that we find light in self-discovery is the light that shows us the way worth putting a bright light on with a background of chaos. This isn't just the trip is a search for freedom. Look for realness wrapped in fantasy. Will you join me? The search for calm enlightenment that you can choose, but remember what you do. Words speak louder than actions, and one point is very important in this video. Watch until the end. So let's get going right away. If someone knows how much you're worth, know how much you're worth. You are valuable enough just the way you are. A person is fundamental. It doesn't depend on outside signs of success or the acceptance of other people. Real self-worth. It can't be given or taken away by anyone else. It grows from the inside out. Your soul society sends us a lot of messages. That we must always work to achieve and add up to be taken into account useful. But this is a trap, and that makes us always unhappy, trying to catch an endless moving belt of awards, honors, and things that are real. Finding happiness is hard when we define ourselves only by what's outside of us. Things that the old Stoics did. They taught us that our worth in another way, not in what we have, but in who we are. Pick who you want to be by living bravely. We have honesty, self-control, and knowledge. Develop a strong sense of your own worth. That is only ours. This pure essence of value can never be taken away by a lot of money loss chances, missed very harsh decisions from other people when we stop looking inside for proof, and we take back our power with your help. Know that there is no promotion award or thanks can make us feel as good as we are only doing what we think is right. Free yourself by separating from the never-ending loop of wanting to be liked and pay attention to our core ideas instead and traits. So accept your natural worth. Yours as soon as you walked into this, let go of what society expects of you. And be yourself as you walk your way with your chin up and your eyes closed, being aware that you are enough more than any other life situation could mean that you are a beautiful being with endless promise that deserves of self-respect. Just for being there, and try your best to remember this all the time. Watch out for the next strong insight. That will completely change the way you do the honor you should show yourself. Take care of yourself with respect. Respect for real. Respect for honor does not come from it has brand labels or Instagram filters on it. Comes from somewhere deep inside a quiet trust that doesn't need a hollow extras when you start with be real and stay rooted in your worth of you treat yourself with care. That shines brighter than any passing trend in a world that is always bombarding us with wants to reach for fantasy ideas. It's easy to want to find worth through surface-level means we swoon over. Powerful people believe in plans to get rich. We twist and turn in, relentless, the desire to look younger, richer, and the better. But at what cost to our persona, running after a precious sense of self? Too much material leaves us forever. A hollow source of real power comes from being happy with who you are. Now special gifts, your hard work, your knowledge, and beautifully flawed humanity when you. From this place of knowing, they can act. Your worth is built into you. You have a with respect that can't be faked, made with calm ease. Walk this earth as you're beautifully flawed yourself. Let your acts be led by being honest, means having the guts to do what's right, even if it's hard to treat other people with compassion, because we all fight at Tim's, help make this a good place to be. World, not by mouthing off, but by humble's persistence and true honor, is a everyday, and make a firm promise it comes to realism over fakery. It is getting back up after falling down, going in the wrong direction and losing. You try again to find the treasure you want. Is not in traps or prizes, but in giving up your precious life to raise what is good about you in other people in this world, which is the way to end. Honor yourself above all else. 3 sets of noise. Protect yourself. Set limits on how you should be treated with care, kindness, and respect. Never let anyone force you to do something. Feel worthless, unimportant, or not seen. Your soul is valuable, and you get to choose what you're willing to accept and what you're not. Too long into your sacred space. A lot of us have been taught to set, putting our own needs last in the name of not making a fuss or keeping the peace. We deal with bad situations that are degrading words and actions that invade our privacy because they make us feel bad about being selfish for speaking out while still respecting our limits. It's not selfish, it's brave and important. That's how other people should treat you, because of the rules you set and the you have lines that no one can cross. Setting limits is a form of self-respect, honoring the voice inside that knows what's not okay and tells you the power to make good things happen when 2 people care about each other. And at the same time, understanding can grow. Setting limits takes a huge amount of time. It takes guts to pick yourself over. Those who want to put you down, it is putting up with guilt, trips, and charges. It's getting tired of being too sensitive through the discomfort that comes with changing the way things may be, not good, but used to be normal to you, but I promise to live honestly. No, to things that make you feel less important is always brave because you only get this one incredibly valuable life. Why keep spending money on accommodations, abuse, and leaving yourself? You are too wonderful and bright a being for such. So today should be the day you choose to enjoy your feelings. Freedom. Set your limits on what? What kinds of actions will you not stand for? Places for relationships need to be heard. Your will no longer come before you have your own inner knowledge. Then have the nerve to implement those rules without apologizing. Has moved into your honor power 1 that the whole world needs light for get ready to get ready to go. When you leave, there's a brave moment in every well-lived life when you have to say enough and a holy line gets crossed a line and stepped on too many times, and you can feel it in your bones. Event no longer serves your hire. Whether it's a bad situation or a job or place of work that breaks your heart deep in gloom. You know you've grown out of it. Your spirit is too bright and valuable to stay somewhere, that lowering your light over and over again in those times when things can make or break you, you can choose to accept the status quo of being unhappy or bravely walk into the unknown, walking towards something better. Letting go of something takes courage. What you know, even if it's wrong for the feeling. The pain of reinventing yourself, if you choose integrity over inertia, feel very uncomfortable to turn your truth until you remember how smothering it was to stay the truth, When we hold on, nothing beautiful grows. That are making our lives worse. For the soul to grow, it has to let go of which makes us feel bad and hope that on the other side, something better is waiting. We take a leap of self-honor needs the strength to let go of what we're too old for, courage to step into our strength, and faith to accept the doubts about a fresh start. But you, soldier, you're stronger than you think. There is bravery in you for those who came before ancestors who they had nowhere to go but still found their way. How their strength lives on in you, blood ready to be called upon when you are. Don't be afraid to live because you need it the most. The kind of life you deserve. Full of life, independence, and deep integrity that you believe in when something portrays a clash of spirituals. Let it go, show yourself a lot of love. No longer give up on the way ahead of you. It may not be clear, but it is bright. With fresh chances, trust that when you choose yourself, life has each hard step forward brings you back. You honor the holy voice inside that needs to be heard, so get ready to explore the world of Stoicism in depth as we tell you about the next big step. In order to change you, which is the 5, the most important thing about this movie, pay attention to what you do, not what you say. Pay attention to deeds instead of words. Fabrications that are cheap and carefully woven to impress the eyes but not really substance, fancy words, and pompous social media was full of promises like fire, but there's not enough of it. They have real spirit behind them the world was full of hollow talk. People in charge are the most powerful. By actually living up to their words, doesn't live in the sweet words that spill from someone's mouth, but in the how their acts stay the same. Over time, it comes out through seemingly choices that don't stand out, showing up on time, being sure of yourself, and doing the right thing even when a pain. But this is how trust is built, bond by bond, act by act of caring. Even though words can motivate, deeds are what really change lives. What good do artistic statements do about changing the world if the speaker treats people they love? Not paying attention to how much weight does social rights to free speech if the speaker breaks and burns bridges every day. Credibility must be built up by leaders. Through the way they act, they understand that planning leads to long-term change. What they want you to do, own existence, look past the surface. Let's be amazed by someone's persona. Their designs show what they're made of. The actions they make every day show compassion, selfishness, lack of responsibility, or avoidance, taking shortcuts, or going the extra mile. These are the quiet facts that find out what kind of person they really are. Making friends with people who are ready to pledges, not just say nice things about loyalty. Put lights around yourself, being honest and trustworthy all the time. Let your own go through the ups and downs, values ring out through a strict promise to keep your ideals. Don't just say what to do, use jargon as your soulful statement to the world. What you do and who you are stand for. Your actions will become something that lasts and leaves a deep legacy of inspiration for a long time when the last word is said. 6. A healthy lack of faith. Do healthy things doubt that the human spirit wants? You can see and understand the link on. On a deep level, this desire changes us, beautifully open and honest, leaving the door open to the chance of closeness or something extra being betrayed, while hope for the first is necessary, fuel for our spirits free. Being dumb can hurt us and astounded when self-serving plans are always revealed. The way is to walk through this world with your eyes open and with eyes wide open. Healthy doubt is just self-preservation hidden in wisdom, doesn't make you bitter or closed off, but rather rooted in the realizing that ultimate what you need for this trip, you can still pick to see the bigger picture in other people while keeping your own safe. Forces from people who might not have. This balance is what pure goals bring about, lets you interact in a real way while fiercely protecting the value of your inner sanctuary, where you can let your instincts guide you first. Pay close attention to the signs your body sends about someone's reasons, then watch what they do. Over time, where they always show change how they treat people who can help. There's nothing for them, and if there is, in line with their ideals, and do look at their methods as well as their reasons for wanting to connect. People who are honest will come with you. Accept your judgment as if you had nothing. To hide from people who are watching will always see that shared values and weak points are what make the deepest ties. Watch out for people who love bamboo with a light touch of passion before they can really earn your trust. The poets, dreamers, and strong people. Integrity is going forward, and they know it. That deep connections can never be microwaved. They let you connect to the Renaissance moved at its own perfect speed. One real moment of being there at it's time. So let this be the way. Hope for people's ability is balanced by limits that are very clear on what you will and won't let your brave heart in stays deliciously open, even if being smart means you have to filter more. To be clear, this is how we co-create. Lastingly good for the soul. We use all of our power in partnerships, of judgment while planting the holy gardens of our deepest selves only with those who deserve to experience the beautiful flowers within. 7. Be strong enough to deny the guts to say no. You were put on this earth to shine bright. 1. Not to. Hesitantly agree to anything that puts out your holy inner fire far away. Way too many of us have been trained to shape ourselves into socially acceptable forms that stop us from calling and turning down our shine just to avoid waves. But you're not meant to live a life you are going along to get along, meant to be honest, even if others feel awkward having the guts to say no when your ideals are sacrificed, even if it means being turned down, is not only is it brave, but it's also new in a world that makes money off of giving up on yourself causes problems in the soul-destroying story of putting outside acceptance ahead of deep honesty that it declares in 1. Taking a deep breath, I must first belong to myself before I can really belong to anyone else, any connection or cause of movement. It's strong to hold on to what you know. Resonance connects you to the things that our ancestors were able to. Holding on to survive severe oppression to their truths, no matter what unimaginable costs, their strong souls shine through you every time you be polite and firm when you say no to things that happen to people or hopes that indicate a mental clash with our inner essence. And no matter what that telling someone no is not mean or rude. Being kind is one of the nicest things you can do. Keeping your beliefs strong is a form of self-care. You keep your powers safe from devolution. You keep your valuable life force for people who want to serve. Being in the world instead of taking it away badly needs more people in the field. People with resources should celebrate and tell more people to speak from the nose, sacred space, so you have the nerve to tell the truth out loud. God's wildest creation, all of you who refuse to bend, you can get philosophical. Or being a behavioral pretzels be an act of honor for the holy light that shines. You should stand for something inside you, even if you sometimes walk the way ahead by yourself. Is not clear, but there is no way out at all. Waiting for those who show who they are to not healthy. The way to reality is to say no to what doesn't serve you, and yes to your most important calling over and over. Learn to control your emotions. 8. Accept your feelings. You have a precious self-control inside you, source of power, the ability to weather the storms that come with life while holding on to your unshakable. That this strength is worth it is the mark of the fully developed soul warrior with no outer. Situations can pull you away when you build up your mental strength to deal with problems as a way to heal for force, instead of something that makes it less important. That the way isn't going into human experience, but getting good at your getting close to it, to feel deeply while not being held captive by fleeting feelings, to let the winds of trouble blow heartaches and failures scream through you, instead of letting them flip your core sense of who you are. When you stop running away, freedom comes. Trouble, and instead breathe in them with supreme self-confidence. In the eyes of every storm rages the choice to be completely taken by reaction, or to meet rough weather with the stunning calm of one who knows how powerful they are. The second road was made by indomitable self-study and mental health artistry that burns self-awareness, that lets you know when your Zacharias slip into default risks. It is making friends with all of your emotionally charged world. With unwavering kindness from that sacred space of presence, you gain sharp clarity. Stop being a prisoner of unhealed patterns and attitudes that hold you back. Deal with life's problems as your metamorphosis will get a dynamic change instead of disasters that should. In order to shake your roots, you are the supreme all over the world. Spiritual truth that no transition could ever erase your without being whole unless you let it be. Be brave enough to respect yourself enough to worry about everything, be sad, and be let down, without making you lose your cool. Times that are worth the risk to look down on, that may have once let you down, and see them as ways to get to greater mastery. Use how strong they are to stay. Your heart is alive and changing. You shouldn't shut down in this way. Strive for the eternal balance of the spirit warrior, on fire with the flames of truth, but never being eaten by. They stayed wonderfully whole and centered no matter what comes up, and this is my effort to persuade you otherwise. Make a smart pick 9. Pick wisely. You are a bright being filled with magic and beauty that's taken ages to get right. The inner world is a holy place, a holy of holies shaped by road trips of sublime joy, heartbreaking pain plus the kind of soft becoming that can. These things only happen in close relationships. Let anyone in without any restrictions, and the lush gardens are open to everyone. In your mind would be a crude dev value of how valuable you are. Boundaries are the signs of real, with resonant clarity, they announce their power. That as you go through life with a willing mind and heart kindness. Not every person has earned the right to plumb the depths of your mysteries. Some links will only ever just scratch the top of who you are, that is without a doubt holy. The kind of closeness that shows and heals, proves what's in our hearts, is cultivated one deliberate weakness: be yourself. At a time, 10 stay true to you are a work of art in the universe, as complicated and unique as the fractals of this very large universe. There is a holy essence burning inside you, source of light and truth that have been 5 years in the making to lessen or change that brightness by bending over to make other people happy. Thought there would be a violent act against the things that made you. Too many of us have been conditioned to think that what makes us valuable exterior validations of wealth built up. Affirmation soothed egos for a long time. Said again, but these are just wisps of smoke compared to the fire that was still burning of knowledge, strength, and beauty that last forever, that lives in you. Your worth was stitched into the fabric of creation long before there was a zeitgeist or a person in charge gave it its random worth. So has the holy perseverance to stay firm in the face of temporary. Make noise to let the changing moods and the opinions of other people bounce off of you. You can feel your deep depth while staying with the roots of your being real is like an oak tree that can't not stay on course, no matter how gusty being made fun of or turned down may come in waves. How the soul is joined with its truth changes into an unbeatable nation, one that can't be judged or denied. Make the road ahead less stable won't be. It's easy for the work of being your essence wants you to be a steady order. Everywhere there is chaos, you have to look. Quiet down those who are criticizing and nagging, and fierce self-compassion, you must do not give in to the hypnotic days of numbing for your light. Just to keep the stat quo, instead, you need to call for wild blame in every cell of your body until you become angry at how this world is set up. So, go forth, shining one burning as only you can make them shine. Sincerity is the holy rebel anth that starts a renaissance of people. Stop a family of hollowed-out men in stale conformities. You are too irrevocably, too real and beautifully he, in the picture of the divine comic, to give you any. Freedom lies in not being free in any other way, taking things without permission. Freedom lives in remaining clear-cut, genuine in their love for you.